Welcome to the big show. Today we're going to talk about when are new service advisors ready? When are they ready? Also, just a reminder, we have Chris Voss and a bunch of other surprises at our Top Dog event this year, October 23rd and 24th. It's for our coaching clients and on-demand customers, but it's going to be an incredible event, best Top Dog ever. And then we talk about Ford having a recall and some other stuff coming up on this edition of Service Drive Evolution.
You're traveling in November. I think it's always funny to talk about like how a couple of months in advance, like you're good, you're ready to go, and then it's like, when is the date again? Like there's a thing that you do where it's like, when is that again? Oh, it's in 4 weeks. Oh, okay. Are you sure that we have to do it? Like you kind of go through this whole scale. I don't know if that's funny to people or not, but I love it.
You love watching me in pain.
Yeah. Not necessarily watching you in pain, but like it's funny how when you do the thing where you agree, you don't think about it. You just are like, oh, I'd love to help these people, and like you're overcome with that's the key
is don't put me on the phone with them. Like I say yes to stuff I shouldn't say yes because I don't know. When I'm on with people, it's about them.
Yeah.
But then after I regret it.
It's right. Whose idea
What
was
is
it?
that?
Whose
What
idea
is that
was
thing?
it for you to be on this call?
Mine.
It was totally your idea.
But when did you say no, you can't be on the call?
If I can, I will. That's great. Just if we can, Kosh, I hope this is all being recorded so that I can play it back.
No, but the outcome is good.
I'm so excited. I think it's neat.
It'll be fun. Also, like that's a quick flight, and I get to go to the Rothko Chapel.
That's good. I'm glad you're going. Okay, so that was our banter.
But you can do that again though. It's funny.
Yeah. But then you can talk about no. This one I'm really really excited about, and they'll say we'll talk again in a month.
So Christian wants to have a new rule that I'm not allowed to talk to customers and get on strategy sessions because whenever I do, what do I do, Christian?
I feel like there's probably been 2 or 3 people that have moved into your house because like you're like, come on, stay at the house for a couple of months. Like you're like naturally like this super sweet and generous person, and you have a filter in most.
Then
cases.
I have to fulfill the thing that
Then you have to fulfill the thing, yeah. So there's like a thing. So Chris is.
So I will get on a call and then I will promise the thing, and then months later, Christian will be like, okay, so you fly into Dallas? And I'm like, what? I did what? I promised what? I don't want to do that.
He has no recollection of doing the thing.
Because I absolutely hate getting on a plane.
You do. You've done your time. I feel like that's the thing, is you've just done too much and you shouldn't have to do it anymore. But it is literally like you can kind of see the erosion of the excitement usually is what happens. Is like when you get on with them, you're great and it's good. I wonder what if what I should do is do like a halftime reintroduction to the people.
Like, what do you mean?
Get you amped up again. Like, hey, I just want you to meet with these folks that you're going to speak with in a month and a half.
Maybe.
And what'll end up happening is you give them an extra 2 days or something. So that's also.
Oh yeah, I'll stay at their house.
Yeah, so great.
That's one thing you learn early on is not to ever stay at anybody's house.
And you
like a lot of dealers.
You did that early, didn't you?
Yeah, there's only I can only think of one dealer.
Firearm.
That I would stay at his house all the time in New York. He was great though, but he was just a friend. But most of the time, staying at somebody's house, like I'm high maintenance. I want my own stuff. I want like you don't want me walking around your house in the middle of the night. Like
no,
I don't know. I'm not user friendly when it comes to that. I also I design everything intentionally around certain things, and when that's taken away from me, I don't do good.
Yeah, I like that you curate your own environments like that. I think that might be part of the travel too. Like in your world that you've got here, you've really just
How
kind of
many
put it
times
the
have
way
I
you like it.
traveled and spent more on my hotel?
That,
That's the other thing is I'll be like, no, I'll pay for my own travel because there's no way I'm gonna make them pay for the hotel I'm gonna stay in.
yeah. Although these nice folks they were probably one of the like the sweetest people that we've ever met
Oh,
with.
I think most people would pay. I just don't.
And they would
I feel
probably
bad.
pay, but yeah, I feel like you'd.
That's the problem.
it's,
I'm too.
It's not them, it's you.
I'm worried about them more than I'm worried about myself until I have to go do it, and then the reality sinks in that I'm on Spirit Air in a middle seat going to Miami or something.
Just so everyone knows, that's never happened.
Well,
never
but
never happened.
But the analogy is accurate.
But this one's kind of cool because there's a little bit of a beautiful part of where you're going to do this, and you can go to one of your favorite places. So I think this experience is gonna be good for you.
Yeah, no, it'll be
pumped.
great. But it is funny that you already are anticipating me complaining about it.
Yeah, September 18th is the first time that I have to be like.
That's when I'll start complaining.
That's when you'll start, and then when is it's like
What will
this
I
thing-
say?
Well, you start with. When is that thing again? And I'm like,
And you can go, well, did you look at the calendar?
I don't say that to you, but I give you the dates, and you're like, are you sure?
Oh.
Like you like to question me of whether or not I know if it's right or not.
Oh, poor Christian.
It's
yeah.
okay.
It's so funny. That just cracks me up. Yeah, I hate it. I hate traveling.
Yeah, you can't do those anymore. You can't do the strategy sessions anymore.
It is so funny, like to the remote places, like the funny stories, like dealers that own their own hotels and you're reading the review and there's bed bugs at the hotel and they want you to stay there. And it's like, there's been times where I've driven an hour. Like I've driven an hour to be at the morning meeting at 6:30 with the advisors, right? But I got like the nicest hotel is like in a city far away. And I'll do that because I don't want bed bugs. Like,
Yeah, that's funny. None of us do, but there's a couple of them. I think one of the worst disasters I think I remember, and this probably is what caused a lot of this for you. There was an Arizona experience. Do you remember this? Where you got there and you had to drive an hour and a half to get there, and then they told you they didn't have a reservation for you, so you ended up going to a different place, and it was in the middle of the night. Like it was the worst possible scenario. I feel like
that's happened a bunch of times.
Yeah, I feel like it's just been one too many, and we can't come back.
Didn't we
from
get
it.
stranded in Dallas once?
Yeah, but that was kind of fun.
Yeah, but we made it fun. It wasn't
Yeah.
fun.
But my favorite part about it was the fact that like was what happened in Cincinnati before we went to Dallas, because you're like, hey lady, like we're not gonna make the flight. Oh, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, no. People that work at airlines are the worst.
So funny.
It is funny. What's so everybody set your calendar to September 12th. I will be complaining.
It's when it begins. All right. I got this fancy iPad here. You want to talk about some news?
I have had some pretty fun people stay at my house though. Like that guest suite is Missy did a good job.
Yeah.
Like people are always blown away by the snacks.
Well, you two combined are also ridiculous hosts in a good way.
It's important to be a good host, I think.
I agree with you 100%.
I'll tell you, like, who taught me a lot of that was Don Crevier. Like, he was an incredible host. Incredible.
Yeah, I feel like you've told me that before. I definitely think, I think your mom's a really good host, too. So you probably had that ingrained. Like, I always felt anytime I've been around her, it's always way more, like, whatever's going on with you is the most important thing. Like, she has no concern for herself almost to a fault. But I feel like some came from that. But maybe the refinement came from Donnie.
Yeah, I guess the way that it feels in my head is the business side of it. Like, there's just so many lessons from him in that way. Like, also just the way that he would treat vendors. Like, he would be friends with vendors, but you'd be like, hey, Don, this vendor, is way out of whack, and there's somebody who will do it for half, and he would be like, well, tell him, like, like, he's just like very like, just be honest and like be nice about it. Don't, but like the truth is the truth sort of a thing. He just had this really nice way of telling the truth, but still like running a good sound business and making decisions the right way and getting all the information too. Like, but the hosting thing, like he really had an attention to detail that was on another level. Like my mom's a great host in the sense that she makes people feel comfortable and she feeds you cookies and does all that. But Don knew how to hire caterers and not have people wait in line. And like, to scale that, right? Like it's easy for my mom to have cookies on your bed when you stay over,
Right.
but to scale that to an event that has 1,000 people, that's another level of attention to detail and, people not waiting in line, the bar and how drinks are like everything mattered. The parking, like he worried about everything. Like you just want to take away all resistance so people can experience the thing you're trying to have them experience. And so it just all matters. Like everything matters.
And that's how we approach Top Dog.
Yeah, like there's a lot of him in all of that.
Yeah, it's a level of anticipation that nobody understands.
Yeah.
Like the way that we're trying to foresee needs and wants and everything like that. It's he comes out, I think, in that event for sure.
And he would worry. Like he was always paying attention and all, They kind of have that debate, right? Like there's that leaders eat last kind of a thing. And then there's the people that go first. Don was the guy that was in the middle. He wanted to be in the middle and experience what everybody else was experiencing.
Yeah.
And he wanted to talk to everybody. He wanted to hear what they thought. Like he would ask, like, and he, if the kind of the debriefs that we do after an event would be the conversations him and I would have. Like he would have a list of things and he'd be like, hey, there was a line at this time and I don't know, that person, that waiter should be at the DMV. They shouldn't be helping people. And like, he was keeping notes on that sort of, and not in his phone, like on a piece of paper. But yeah, there's something to that being a good host. But I've had some pretty fun people stay at my house.
Yeah, I think that you choose those guests really well. So, but that helps out. But it's all about anticipating the needs. Want to talk about any news?
Yeah.
So I thought this was really an interesting one for you. Nissan, the Japanese company, closing their one of their Japan plants. I thought that was really fascinating.
Breaks my heart.
And
my first new car was a Nissan.
it was my first dealership I worked at.
I just don't understand why they sure missed that Carlos.
Yeah.
Like they've never recovered from that.
What was the deal with him? He was doing something with money or something like that.
Charging his house to his expense account or something. I don't know. Like,
He's not the first one to do that for sure.
But they tried to put him in jail.
Yeah.
But they haven't had anybody with that sort of vision and the ability to create products that consumers aspire to have.
Yeah, I will say the dealer body though. Some of our Nissan clients absolutely weathering the storm and killing it.
But that's because they're good dealers, not because Nissan's making it easy.
Yeah, so it just kind of lets you know that the product doesn't.
We have
matter
Infinity clients that are doing good, but
people wouldn't believe it.
Not the average one.
No, they're not the average one, not at all. This is something that'll help you to know that I've stopped driving as much. Fewer traffic deaths reported in 2025. So
you attribute that to you walking?
Yeah. I have been walking a lot lately. It's kind of fun. Let's see. There's so many things. Oh, there's been a spike in vehicle brand loyalty. That's not me. That's you. You're back to back on both your cars. Same manufacturer.
Yeah. I really want a Cybertruck.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten one yet.
Can't justify it. I don't really have anywhere to park it.
Yeah. Would it even fit in your little driveway area? It's
Not
so
with
long.
not with Winston.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get rid of Winston. I just want a Cybertruck for
Just
the
for
impending
some
apocalypse.
days. That's pretty funny. And Ford recalled 56,000 F-150s.
If
I
you're a Ford dealer, that is a chance to get people back that you haven't seen in a month. Do an
So
inspection and
funny.
make friends.
Yeah. That's
80% of them are going to an independent shop. You could get them back.
That's right. That's the way.
Use the recall as an excuse.
Yeah, and also here at Service Drive Revolution, we like to make sure that we provide good information. And I had an epiphany that happened to me a week ago, and I wanted to give this advice to our listeners and viewers just because it just didn't surprise me a little bit. Don't believe everything you read in bathroom stalls. Sharon was not ready for a good time, and it was a very awkward conversation.
Don't you miss the good old days when people wrote in bathroom stalls?
Right? Like nobody's.
When's the last time you were in a bathroom stall that there was anything written?
It's been way too long.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start putting like Sharpie markers out.
Is
before
that
people
because it
walk
doesn't
in.
happen anymore, or just like where we live?
I don't know. I feel like if it was gonna happen, it would happen. Well, I don't go public.
But even like when
bathrooms here.
like a while ago took a road trip in the truck stops, like, and in the rest stops, nobody's riding in those bathrooms.
nobody's
Used to be like,
maybe nobody wants to have a good time anymore. I don't know.
maybe. Christian, let me ask you a question.
Please.
How long till a new service advisor is ready?
That's a great question, and multifaceted in its answer. But when they're ready, when they can do the job, and your customers aren't mad at them.
But is there one time, like, can you say they're ready in 9 months or they're ready in a year?
I don't think so.
Yeah. It depends on the person.
But it is some. Do you get asked that a lot? I get asked that a lot. Like, how long does it take to train somebody? And I just think forever. Like,
Yeah.
we're always training.
But also, like, the thing about the training is you're always training with the feedback loop. Like, you give them 3 customers and then see how that goes. If that doesn't go good, you don't give them 25.
Yeah, and I think that
You give them 2.
Don't you think that a lot of people that we've seen, they don't even start at the 3, they start at 25, and then they'll never learn what's wrong.
Yeah, no, you start at 3 and then give them 4, and when they can do good with 4, then you give them 5. But and how many times have we had veteran advisors that are starting to struggle in CSI or something, and you cut them back and limit them to 8 and watch how quick it gets fixed.
Magically, it's fine, right?
So, it has more to do with the individual and how they retain it and how close you're watching and involved than just a blanket timetable.
Yeah.
And some people, unfortunately, are a little smarter than others. Some people learn faster than others.
What are
It's kind of like potty training a dog, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you don't know what the timetable is going to be.
When you potty train a bulldog, most of the time, I remember my first bulldog, he, like, literally, because before that, I had Shelties and other dogs, and what we would do, my family tradition, or how I was raised, is you would wad up a newspaper, and then you would, like, bang the newspaper on your hand, which would scare the living daylights out of them, and you'd rub their nose in it and then put them outside. Later on, I learned there's other ways to do it where you can do crate training, but that's kind of how I was raised, right?
Okay.
So when I got my first bulldog, I did a version of crate training, but also, like, Rocky would, like, literally look at you and then lift his leg and pee on the couch corner. Like, you do the newspaper thing and reprimand them and rub his nose in it and put it outside, and he'd come back and do it again. Like, he didn't care. And I remember this dog trainer, when we were taking him to training, was like, "Oh, that you can't train bulldogs that way. You got to do it with treats." And so then, jump ahead a week, he comes and gets you and he's like, "Hey, get a treat because I got to go outside and pee." And then, you reward them, and then they start to do it.
Yeah, so it's a day when you do it the right way, right?
But they're different than, like, let's say my mother-in-law has one of those Labradoodles, cute dog, never needed potty trained, like was potty trained by virtue of DNA. I don't know. Like just was smart. It's, the dog's pretty smart, great dog, but never had to do any of that. Like they just were potty trained, like in a sense. And so everybody's different. And I think it's the same thing with being an advisor. Some people struggle with the DMS. Some people struggle with the customers and the follow-up. Some people struggle with the knowledge. Like,
yeah,
it just depends.
I would suggest that potty training advisor should be an early part of the process. But yeah,
Noted.
That was I think that I wrote down a couple of things about that was maybe more cautionary tales than like trying to answer the question. But I think the hardest thing is remembering your desperation is not more important than their future.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's probably the thing that I see the most is that, good Lord, we want to help the customers. We want to do this. We got to increase this or whatever it is. And we do it at the expense of this poor person. I can only imagine how many people we've scared off of this industry that if they were onboarded right, that they'd still be here.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about like what you do in terms of the feedback loop? I think that's a really important part of trying to get people ready for their job is the feedback loop. And what are some things that you've done in the past when you're onboarding people?
Well, I think it starts with having some sort of deal before they're hired, right? So like if I'm hiring an advisor, I'm having some sort of conversation with them that goes something like, hey, I just want you to understand that if I hire you, you're going to be held to a different standard. Now, there's advisors here that don't get up and go greet the customer. There's advisors here that don't consistently do the walk around. That exists, but you're going to be held to a different standard. And don't assume that they'll be getting away with that forever. But the first time you don't do a walk around, you're gone. Like, I just want that in their head, right? Because, one thing just on a side note is kind of the last thing you want to happen is to replace the advisors in a service drive. Because when customers come in and all the faces are different, it makes them very nervous.
They will tell you to.
And so it's way better if you can do a little bit of a sleight of hand and you can get some new advisors in there that are doing the thing you want, and then kind of get the other advisors to join your cult or your religion, basically, in a sense, right? And also, just on top of that, is you might have an advisor that's been there 10 years. They have a clientele, but they've just been doing it the wrong way. And what we're asking them to do just seems counterintuitive. The social proof of other advisors coming in new that don't have a customer base, beating them in numbers fairly quickly, shows them that, hey, there's actually some credibility to this, because I've been here 10 years and now these people coming in have no customer base and they're putting up bigger numbers than me instantly. That helps move them along, right? Mm-hmm. So kind of that being said, is like sharing the clear vision of what you're trying to do, how hard it is, and that they're going to be held to a different standard. And then, unfortunately, you can't just let them go. You got to talk to them constantly. You got to watch. We look at numbers by the hour, by the day, like sitting down and going through goals with them. How much are we going to do every day? Having a daily goal and really controlling the input and the output, like not giving them too many customers. And it depends on the drive too. Like if the drive has a lot of non-appointments and you only make an advisor 4 appointments, they still might write 12, right? Mm-hmm. Because the customers aren't conditioned yet to make appointments. And so all of those variables play into your approach, but you want to cap them. So I would say hey, once you get to 6, I want you to stop. And then, review their ROs, do missed ops. Like, you just have to look at all of those systems we have in place, do a lot of the training for you. And I would say too, like, the system is a better trainer than anything. Like, how many people are like, oh, we want your advisor training, and they think that the advisor training is what did it, and it's not. It's the system that did it. The system is the best trainer.
That's right.
Because you have no, well, how do you say this? A good system doesn't allow them to get too far off track, because everything has a rhyme and a reason. Like,
yeah, so that's the way that I know that I'm doing everything right from an onboarding and training standpoint. And I used to think differently about this, but I don't anymore. Like, I used to have this thing where someone's like a brand new advisor, and I'll be like, oh, their numbers are just going to be bad for 5 months or 3 months until they figure stuff out or whatever the thing is. But the fix to that is this systematic input, right? So, like, the great thing that happens, you're doing it right if their numbers would be low overall, but like their per RO metrics or whatever. Their
great example of that is you're looking at a customer's dashboard and they're like, traffic's down. And then you look at hours per RO and you're like, that's odd, because if your traffic was down, you have more time to spend with customers. So your hours per RO should be twice what they are.
Bingo.
What we would rather see is a new advisor have high hours per RO. All of the measurables are high with low volume.
That's
is
right.
What you're saying.
Yeah. And you know that it's working. The time that you can add in one more RO is when you're really happy with the metrics on the 3 that they're writing. Then you go to 4.
Way harder to do it the other way, where they're writing 25
and you're peeling
and they're at 0.5 hours per RO, and you're like, hey, you should be at 2.
And they just don't know what to do.
They're just looking at you like, I just want to go home and drink myself to death.
Yeah.
Like, you can just see it in their eyes. They're waking up in the middle of the night. They forgot something. They like, and that's, to your point, is we've ruined more people than we've ever trained in our industry.
Yeah. And I think that the take rate and success rate, those are good. There's also a thing to it kind of going the other way, where if they're not a fit, it's not the job for them or whatever. I think you figure it out faster and more accurately if you're doing the slow onboarding, because they just never progress. So it's good on the good side and good on the bad side. Like, the whole thing just, I can't think of a better way to do it than that. But yeah, I think that probably the best advice we could give would be that it's not just about like learning the DMS and the training and everything like that. It's the whole operation, and you let him behind the scenes. And one thing I think you're really good at too is I've seen you, like, you'll take people out to lunch, or you'll kind of pull them into your office and say, hey, what's going on? Like, you're doing these, I think they're calculated, but like they're like 1 week or 2 week check-ins with new people and stuff like that. You're constantly kind of going back and giving them an opportunity. And I feel like you take that and then you use that to train them better and maybe train the next person better, but you're always using that feedback loop for how to improve the system. But that would be something that, like, I think the thing that is the average in our industry, service manager hires an advisor, they turn him over to their lead advisor, and they don't talk to him for a month.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens way more often than not.
When you need to be talking to them at least a couple times a day in the beginning.
Yeah.
And looking at the numbers and then coach. Like, it's way easier to start them fast and maintain them versus letting them get away slow and trying to then get them back on track.
That's right.
The other thing I would say too is, for some reason in our industry, we will decide, oh, we're going to hire baristas for advisors, and we'll go recruit 3 people from Starbucks or something. I have a rule is like, I never train more than 1 green pea at a time. It's so much better to surround them with talent. I'll go steal the advisor from down the street that's the top advisor and put them next to a green pea, but a drive full of green peas is a lot of chaos and volatility. Because half of them aren't going to make it.
They're not going to make it.
You're just throwing it to the wind.
Yeah. I think that's a highway to an ulcer.
Yeah. But it happens all the time. Like, well, I came through in this 20 group and we're hiring insurance agents. And you're like, one at a time.
Yeah,
Like,
and you see them
an
next time.
insurance agent can make it, sure, and so can a barista, but one at a time.
That's right. That's how the like the $8,000 warranty chargebacks happen and all that other stuff that really just ruins everything. That happens when you have 3.
Yeah.
When it's 1, you guard it so tight that it doesn't get past you.
It's good.
It was a fun topic.
And so I would say, just in my kind of basic like understanding of time, is 6 months to a year, depending on the person.
Yeah.
But it takes like 6 months to kind of get the product down. You know, it goes by really quick. 6 months goes by like that.
Yeah, and they can be successful the whole time. They don't have to swim around in raw sewage and then get better, which is how most of us did it, right? Like,
Too, like, if you think about lateral support and quick lube techs becoming, you know, C or B techs,
same thing.
it's a year plus. Like, some can do it in a year, some it takes 2 years. But once again, it's about the system. Like, if you have them overseen by a team leader, if they're involved in the inspections, if that feeds the overall group, it's an ecosystem in a way.
It's a great way to look at it.
It's good. Well, thanks, everybody. Hope that was good food for thought, and we'll see you next time on Service Drive Revolution. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Service Drive Revolution. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR, and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.